you're alive, you need to be quiet to show respect and honor to that. And so I say, let's take a moment of reverence for those people we do not know their names, but they died so I can live. Thank you very much. Give yourself a round of applause. That was good. They call me Kofi Abwaji Akrofi Sankofa. If you can say my name, I'll give you money. Anybody could tell me my 4 names at the end of the day, I'll give you cash.
Say again? Say again?
Oh, you mean say it again? Kofi Abwaji Akrofi Sankofa. I'm going to read some names before I start the presentation. Trevon Martin, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Ezel Ford, Orlando Barlow, Oscar Grant, Renisha McBride, Dante Parker, Jordan Davis, John Crawford, Alonzo Ashley, Kimani Gray, Dante Price, Stephen Eugene Washington, Victor Steen, Sean Bell, Ayana Stanley Jones, Wendell Hallen, Aaron Campbell, Kendrick McDade, Bo Morrison, Timothy Stansbury Jr., Timothy Russell, Jareen Blake, Osame Zongo, Ronald Madison, James Brissett, Ramarley Graham, Taveras McGill, Jersey Green, Sharon Jackson, Dwayne Brown, Angela Clark, Stephen Rodriguez, Christopher Kisani, Raymond Allen, Justin Sipp, Melvin Lawhern, Nehemiah Dillard, Michael Lombard, Marcus Smart, Tendai Nekaru, Rikaya Boyd, Stephen Watts, Manuel Loggins Jr., Johnny Kamaya Warren. These were the people the police or the citizens of America killed in America, the USA. These people died by the hands of guns. And oftentimes the people in Canada like to talk about Black Lives Matter, but they never mention one of the people died here. Hugh Dawson, Wade Lawson, Lester Donaldson, Buddy Evans, Junior Manan, Eric Asawe. These are the names being killed by the Toronto police in this city. When one life is lost, it's sacred. We should mourn. We shouldn't just wait for the small boy who was frozen and then we will cry because the small boy. But every time a life is lost, we should mourn. Life is a sacred thing in the ancient times of Africa. And by the way, when no other race existed, Africa existed. And in Africa, when we are the only one, we had life as a sacred thing. Today we walk over dead bodies as if it's normal. So I wanted to start off this way because we're going to have some fun today. I'm going to need somebody to move this. This says, why study? Could you go back to it? Why study, learn, and research African history? Normally I'll put her story. It is so we can live well. History and culture is a living thing. Everybody in here ought to know. If you're a Sikh, you need to know. If you're Hindu, you need to know. If you are from the continent of Alchemilan, Africa, you ought to know. History is living. If you don't know your history, everything you think you know will confuse you. So this is very important. And why should our brothers and sisters from the other parts of the world learn this history? Because they too will be confused. They think you are the stereotype that's on the television. Do you know why it's called television? Because it tells lies. And that's why I don't even go to libraries, because inside libraries is many lies. So you have to look deep. City TV say they're everywhere, but they're not here. Are they here?
No.
They're not here? No. Tell them I said they say they're everywhere, but they're not here. If there was a shooting, they would be here. But when there's positive stuff going on in the village, they don't come up because they're looking for stories that is negative. So let's go to the next picture. This is how I got my name. No, the Jamaican folks didn't give me this name. Oh. They gave me a little European name named Ricardo Arturo Tomlinson. At a certain point, I said, that's not my name. I'm not Spanish. I'm not British. You know, I never go to Russia and see a Russian named Kwame. Every Russian I know has a Russian name. But I understand why we have funny names as Africans. And so one day I watched the movie named Sankofa, and after watching the movie I said, that's my name. I go to Africa and they say, that's not a name, Kofi. It's not a name. I said, yes, that's my name. I named myself. When my mother couldn't name me, I named myself, and I went to Ghana to do a naming ceremony. So everybody here has to Sankofa. The word Sankofa means go back and fetch it, so you can go forward. If each of you don't know your history, and some of you might want to fall asleep because you say, well, you know, I'm not African. But you have to learn too. Because how is it I'm going to learn about what happened in Punjab? How is it that I got to know what happened in Russia? Because we are global people. If we respect people, we understand Hinduism and Sikhism and our Buddhism, then we could learn a little bit better. And so when I teach that everything came out of the mother continent, and so every nation on earth has to Sankofa. The thing in its mouth is an egg. All of us come from an egg. And so just if some of you think you're just born big, you came from an egg. There's a lot of things that went on to make that egg and that sperm connect. So you got, that egg is going into the soul of the people and say, let's go forward. The next one. I wanted to take you to this. Today, we want to teach you something new. If you ever heard the word mathematics, Mahat. Mahat is one of the beginning first. Before all the religions that we know of today, Mahat existed. Most of the religion borrows some of the information from Mahat. Mahat is the ancient Kemetic, or some people call it Egyptian, concept of truth, balance, order, law, morality, and justice. You ever see the thing that they use in law, the two little scales? This is where they get it from. In ancient Kemet or Egypt, they use the feather to weigh you. They check if you lived a good life and they put the feather on your heart. If you live a bad life, the feather just... If you lived a good life, the feather will be upright. So this is Mahat. All religions borrowed from Mahat. Let's go. This is the idea that people will tell you in Christianity, Mary, the Virgin Mary. Before the Virgin Mary, there was Isis and her child. Isis and Osiris birthed Horus, who was conceived after the death of Osiris, the hands of his brother Set. Let's go again. The reason why I don't show you all of this stuff is because I don't want you to believe anything I say. I want you to go do your research. People come in front of you and tell you things all the time and you're like, yeah, sure. And you never go look it up because you're lazy. You have to go do research. How can you teach? How can you live and you don't verify? You have to do research. That is the timeline. We have Queen Tai, we have Queen Nefertari, we have Queen Hatshepsut, we have Queen Amos. Those queens, we had 20-something, over 28 queens in Nubia. Africans didn't have a problem with women ruling because we know in the beginning we came from her. And so you have to know the timeline. Right now, Egypt timeline is the Arabs invasion. There was a Greek invasion in Kemet, Egypt. There was a Persian invasion. And so sometimes you see a country and you're like, this is not Africa. Yes, it is. In the dynasty of King Narmer, it started that way. Imhotep is the little bald-headed man. He's the first multi-genius. He's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's everything that you... And this is in Africa, before any other civilization existed. Let's go. There's a book called Stolen Legacy. If you write people out of a history and you start putting Egypt in the Middle East, because that's what happened. When people decide to be racist and they take you out of history, then you become nothing but a thug. And you walk on the street and you're nothing like walking and you're thinking you're nobody, you've never done nothing. Well, how can you, the first people of civilization, don't know that you are? I want you to take a look at that for a moment. You shouldn't give away your legacy. But you got to do some work. Could you go to the next one, please? This is one of the great queens, Queen Tai, chief queen of Amenhotep, and Otep means peace. I come in peace. And amen is what the people say in their church. Every time you finish a prayer, you say amen. Before you said that in your church, we were saying it in ancient Africa. Amen, Otep, I come in peace. She was the mother of Akhenaten. Akhenaten is the person that says one God. Anytime you hear any religion on planet Earth that says there's a one God, it's Akhenaten. He came up with the concept. Some of this will be strange to you because you did not realize that the Greeks and the Romans came to ancient Egypt to learn. That's where